Hello there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and what a famous image this is. If you're into San Francisco rock concert posters from the 60s, you've seen it. I mean, it's just really that popular and enduring. And of course, I'm talking about The Sound. Look at that, there it is, The Sound. Definitely one of the most, saved and kept and coveted and talked about and reproduced poster images in San Francisco rock history. In fact, this thing has spent time in, modern art museums around the world and stuff. It is such a perfect, typical San Francisco psychedelic concert poster for the era. It's absolutely a classic. I know I might use that word a little too much, but this is a classics classic done by Wes Wilson, and we got to give him full credit. What a masterpiece he turned out here. Now, interestingly, Wilson took promoter Bill Graham's expression for the whole, summing up San Francisco's thriving music scene. Graham used to call it just the sound, perhaps, of the city. And so Wes took that expression and turned it into, indeed, a poster theme that just works beautifully from top to bottom. You have to remember, Wes was right in the middle at this point. He was right in the middle of designing 45 out of 50 of Bill Graham's first 50 concert posters, and so they had a really strong rapport going. And interestingly, the nice coffee table book, The Art of the Fillmore, quotes Wes Wilson as saying that, when Bill Graham saw him working on it, he came over to see what it was looking like. And Graham saw what Wes was working on and said, "Well, it's nice, but I can't read it." And Wilson replied, "Yeah, and that's why people are going to stop to look at it." Good answer indeed. That's pretty funny. And I did check that out, and with the possible exception of BG-29, which is that red and green association concert poster that's sort of a mess, or at least that's my opinion, this was, up until this point, the hardest to read Bill Graham concert poster in the numbered series. So Wes was apparently really striving to do that. And so, just in case you're having trouble reading it, I don't know how that comes across on my video monitor, but it is, of course, the Jefferson Airplane 6 weeks after the release of their debut album, Takes Off. And then you've also got on here the Butterfield Blues Band, and the Paul Butterfield Blues Band, you might remember, they just killed at the Fillmore 6 months earlier. I mean, they just really had an amazingly strong debut. And then there's that famous story behind it where Bill Graham gets up, early in the morning and calls New York and steals the Butterfield Blues Band away from Chet Helms, who had a more of a, work ethic of sleeping until noon and stuff. But interestingly, the Butterfield Blues Band headlined both posters FD3 and BG3, Family Dog 3 being in March and BG3 being in April. And then on top of that, or below that actually on the poster, but some would feel on top of that, is blues legend Muddy Waters. Oh my God, probably all the other musicians on stage bowed down at his feet. I mean, he was so loved and respected by all musicians. So, boy, that's a killer triple bill. So Graham, in order to, handle this heavyweight triple bill, he opened up Winterland. That's right, in San Francisco, 5,400 seats. And this, The Sound, is Bill Graham's very first Winterland concert poster. That's such a nice thing, a nice feather in its cap, because even if it was all Fillmore, it would be great to collect and frame and stuff, but I mean, we're talking Winterland here for the next 12 years. Oh my God, every big act on the planet imaginable, well, of course, a little exaggeration, but played Winterland. Come on, the Rolling Stones and the Who and just everybody, played Winterland. So it's really neat to have such a nice poster represent Winterland's coming out as a rock venue. Now, this poster also touts 2 additional Sunday matinees at the smaller Fillmore Auditorium. The matinees were from 2 p.m. until 7 p.m. Now, the poster has a very interesting error. Obviously, the 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. is correct. However, as I move in here, the Winterland shows, get it up here in the bottom left, say accidentally 9 p.m. until 2 p.m. instead of a.m. So that's, just obviously a little graphic error there by Wes, but all printings, subsequent printings and handbills and everything have that same mistake. So I'm sure the rule of thumb was, if an error was made initially, don't correct it, because then you really muddy the waters and everything on a Muddy Waters concert poster. So you've got a heck of a lot of tickets to sell here, 4 Winterlands and 2 Fillmores. Oh my gosh! So matching the heft of that, ticket selling responsibility. I mean, we're talking almost 25,000 tickets that this poster had to sell. I don't know how Graham was on newspaper ads and radio announcements, but that's a lot of tickets. That might be unprecedented in the early BG history for a number of tickets needing to be sold. Who knows, maybe not matched until, the Day of the Greens in the 70s or something. I don't know, I didn't research that. But anyway, to get extra window space and extra attention to move, 25,000 ducats, this poster is actually 4.5 inches taller than the normal 14 by 20 inches for a Bill Graham concert poster. And they also made 3 printings before the show, 3 different printings to get it all over town. Interestingly, one of those is black and white, and the 2 others are color. This is one of them, and the difference in the 2 color printings is the magenta or purple that is on the sound there, and on the figure of the woman is slightly a different tone, and same with the green behind her. That's a different hue on the 2 different color editions, and you have to almost have them side by side really to be able to easily tell the difference. Now, speaking of this woman's figure, wow, Eric King's authoritative book on the subject, Fillmore concert posters and so forth, really speaks highly, really raves about this woman, calling it a revolutionary, almost drawing. Take a look at that. King points out that up until this point, women had been portrayed as thin and weak and, powerless and all this stuff. And King says here, she's muscular, powerful, and dancing in wild abandon. She is fully nude and unashamed, end of quote. And that's a good way of putting it, and it certainly, of course, matched the ethos of dancing at Woodstock and everything else that would eventually come along in this generation. By the way, you want to know if you have one printed before the show or afterwards, all the reprints done after the show have a printer's credit on the back for West Coast Litho. And also, Wes Wilson himself did his own printing many years later, but he used wildly different colors than what you see here. So, what a classic, what a beautiful poster, The Sound. Thanks a lot for stopping by, and it's a sight to behold is The Sound poster. Just a gorgeous one and great fun to do. Have a nice day. See you next time. Bye-bye.